Hey everybody, welcome back to the kitchen. Today we're going to be making pumpkin pie from my grandmom's cookbook from 1987. First we're starting off with a single 9-inch crust. It's a single crust because pumpkin pie only has the crust on the bottom. So what we've got going on here is 1 cup of flour and half a teaspoon of salt already mixed together, 1/3 cup of shortening, and some cold water. The recipe says 3 to 4 tablespoons, but really you want to make sure you just put enough cold water in so that way it's becoming easier to work with and it doesn't crack when you roll it out. So let's get started with the pie crust and then we'll move on to the pie filling. So you start with your flour and your salt. So I'm just going to whisk my salt and my flour together just to get them well incorporated. And then it says using a pastry blender, you're going to cut in your shortening until everything is, the particles are pea size, so crumbly. Oh no. Handy dandy, what is this thing? Holy cow, pastry blender. And you're just gonna rock your shortening back and forth. I forgot how annoying this is. I hate crust. I am thankful that it is just a single crust this time because my hate for this is strong. I don't know why this one calls for shortening. Like this crust recipe calls for shortening because I used to use butter and I feel like butter crumbles easier. Like it cuts better because it's cold. Like if it comes right out of the fridge. Because this just immediately gets stuck in the pastry blender. So it's like not easy. It ain't easy. But we're out here. We're doing it. Maybe. Oh my gosh. I can do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, right? So it's about as crumbled up as it's gonna get, I think, for now. Mainly because I'm impatient. So now we're gonna take our tablespoon and our cold water, 1 tablespoon at a time until dough is just moist enough to hold together. Too much water causes it to be sticky and too little water causes it to crack. It's a very fine line that I don't walk well. So, all right, 1 tablespoon at a time. It's all together, but I feel like we need 1 more. Watch, I probably made it too sticky. Form dough into a ball. Let me get gloves. So it says now to form dough into a ball. Place on a well-floured surface, flatten ball slightly. I flattened it. And then you're going to use your rolling pin. Get it, either use a stockinette covered rolling pin. What word is that? That's weird. Roll dough into a circle 1 inch larger than an inverted 8 or 9-inch pie pan. So we're gonna roll it. We're gonna give it a roll. See how she do. It do nice. Yeah. It do nice. It's rolling well this time. I hear you. You can't go outside. No. Oh yeah, that did great. Look at that. Snailed it. I folded it into quarters to help me pick it up. The recipe here says for a single crust pie, fold edge of pastry under, even with rim and flute. Fold it under. Fold it under. And why am I saying this so many times? Fold it under, even with rim and flute. I think we are well over the edge here. I thought it was, but I guess it's not. It's okay. We're okay. Some of it is, some of it ain't. Fold it under. Fold it under what? Fold edge of pastry under. Even with rim and flute. That's not right, right? What? And a special touch to your pie. You know what? I don't want to do that. I want to prong it. Fold it over. Fold in the cheese. Fold over the crust. Flute the crust, David. I don't know what flute the crust means. You just flute it. I don't know how to be any more clear. You flute the crust. Oh, Moira. I should have went with my original and just pronged it with my fork. But a crust is a crust. If it must, it must. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Holy smokes. What is this doing? That looks wild. It it doesn't look like the picture. That's okay. I just finished the pie crust. It's going to be edible, and I only had to do it once, so yay. Now I'm going to get the ingredients for the pie filling, the pumpkin pie filling, all set up and ready to go. And then I'll come back and we'll mix them together. Now we're back to make our pumpkin pie filling. The recipe calls for 1 9-inch single crust, which we have, 2 eggs, which I've just got them already in my big bowl, 3/4 cup of sugar. This is your spice mixture. It's going to be 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of ginger, and a 1/4 teaspoon of cloves. Then you need a 16-ounce can or 2 cups of canned pumpkin, and then a 13-ounce can of evaporated milk. The recipe reads out that you need to heat the oven to 425. Done. Prepare your 9-inch pastry. Done. You're going to beat your eggs slightly and then add the remaining ingredients and then blend them well. Pour everything into your pie pan and then bake it 425 for 15 minutes. Drop the temp to 350. Cook it for another 45 minutes. Okay. Now I'm going to put all my ingredients together. First, we're going to beat the eggs and then we're going to add the rest of our ingredients. So our pumpkin, sugar, spice mix, and last but not least, the evaporated milk. Now we're going to give this a blend until everything's well incorporated. Let's give her a mix. Okay, that's what the pumpkin mix looks like. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a pan. I'm going to get a sheet pan to put my pie on. So that way if I spill it on the pan and not everywhere else. I think that's a good idea. Makes me feel better. So now we're going to pour our pie filling into our pie pastry and hopefully not make a mess. Oh. So now we're going to stick this in the oven. Like I said, 425 for 15 minutes, drop it down to 350 for another 45 minutes. You can stick a knife in the center, and if it comes out clean, it's all done. If it's not, put it in for another 5 or so. And then we'll come back and we'll give it a taste. We're back and the pie is finished cooking. The times were perfect. 425 for 15 minutes, drop it down to 350 for the 45 minutes for the 9-inch was great. The pie came out, it was all finished, nice and puffed up. It's still a little hot, but that's what the pie looks like. I think right here is where we're good. That's what that looks like. So now we're gonna give it a slice, give it a taste, and see how we did. Come on, you can do it. Oh, that's what the slice looks like. Hot, it's like molten lava. Whoo, doggy. There's our pie slice. Okay, that's what that looks like. So I feel like our crust is a little undercooked. I guess we're gonna have to give it a taste and see how we did, really. But hopefully it's not like stupid hot. I think it is. All right, let's give it a taste. Being that it's still very warm, it's holding together very nicely, the pie itself. So I know once it's cooled down, the crust seems solid. Other than the fact that I was impatient, I did let it cool down. This is not like fresh out of the oven. I did let it cool for like 10 minutes. It wasn't enough. It's still very, very hot, but it's delicious. It's a really good pie. The flavor is like, it's nice. It's very smooth, very creamy. The crust, even though I thought maybe it looked a little wet, the crust is nice. I think it's good. I think it's a delicious pumpkin pie. In the book, it actually calls it a deliciously old-fashioned pumpkin pie. I don't know how far back this recipe technically goes, but it definitely goes back to the 80s. So how many years is that? Oh God, that's terrifying. That's so far now, isn't it? I'm 36 years old. I was born in 1986. I just sat here and was like, how old is that? How old did I just say I was? How old am I? What's happening? I am 38 years old. I was born in 86. This book is from 87. So that is at least a 37-year-old pumpkin pie recipe. It's delicious. You could actually make pumpkin eggnog pie, and you switch out the evaporated milk for eggnog. That's pretty cool, right? We'll be using this recipe for our holiday festivities if I make pumpkin pie. Delicious. Double thumbs up. Well, now that we're done our pumpkin pie, let's get into what we're going to get into next time. We're still going sweets. I'm feeling the sweets right now. So we're still going to go with sweets. Let me figure out where the heck this is. There it is. Found it. So next time we're going to be making cinnamon rolls. I have a basic roll dough recipe, and then I have the cinnamon roll recipe. So it should be interesting because I'll be using yeast for what feels like the first time because I don't ever really remember using it. So it should be nice and confusing for me. But I'm excited to do that. Cinnamon rolls are delicious. So let me show you the recipe real quick. This is the recipe for the cinnamon rolls. And here's the recipe for the basic roll dough. So that's what we're going to get into next time. I'm very excited for that. I hope you enjoyed the pumpkin pie. If you're going to make pumpkin pie, that's a really good recipe to use. I think you'll enjoy it. It was double thumbs up for me. My husband's going to love it. So maybe you will too. But thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you next time. If you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.